Hi, my name's Gary Green and I'd like to introduce you to my theory, the real theory of everything. This is something I've worked on for the last 20 years and I'm quite passionate about the physics, but understanding it, what you can't grasp from scientists, from books, from even the web. So first of all I'd like to explain what the real theory of everything is. It's long said to be the unification theory, the grand theory. It's a theory of all theories, one that will join general relativity and quantum mechanics into one theory that explains basically everything. I believe I found that and I'd like to introduce you to it. Space. Space is the only entity there is. It's kind of ignored. When we talk about atoms, planets, we talk about a planet in space, in a position. We don't really talk about the relative space around it, when in fact my theory has shown that it is the only space that matters. A couple of very simple diagrams, there's no high tech. Here we have a picture of the Earth surrounded by space. And when we talk about the Earth, or any planet, any celestial body, we talk about it being in space. Well, is it in space? Is it on space? Is it part of space? Is there space pushed out? Is space affected by it? Well, this is the truth. If we were to imagine this to be an atom, I'm just going to change its colour. And there we are, a single atom. I'm not going to describe the features and the characteristics of the atom, that's going to be in a later video. This is just an introduction. The important part, which we tend to focus on about any atom or part of physics, is the centre. And in fact, that is not the part we should be focusing on. It's the whole. And what I mean by that is normally the atom would be the part you focus on. Well, in fact, it's the skin. So in other words, the atom that was there, that I've now taken away, we've only got its skin left, and that is physics. That is the physical part of that object we call an atom. Because when that atom came into existence, however that was, it has sort of grown and compressed space. Space has been moved out the way to allow the atom to be in existence. So no longer, although this looks very plain, it's just uncompressed space. Around the atom, that skin is highly compressed space. That's where the energy of an atom is from. That's why atoms have energy. It's because of that compressed space, not because of what's in the middle. When we do all our science experiments, we focus on those results describing what's in the middle, the atom. And in fact, those results are describing the skin of the atom. There is nothing more. Around the edge, the skin, which this would be a sphere rather than a two-dimensional piece of paper. And if I could afford the graphics, you'd be seeing some nice graphics, a nice sphere with very, very compressed space around the edge. And it's that space compressed that gives us energy. And to explain gravity, which is fine by the equations, but there's no real understanding as to why one gravitational body should be attracted to another. Space is considered to be empty, there's nothing in it. So why is the moon orbiting the Earth? Why should it stay there, not just fly off? I'd like to offer an explanation, and it's due to the theory, my theory, the real theory of everything. So here we have space in white, the two masses. They could be the Earth, they could be the moon, they could be atoms. It's irrelevant. What's relevant is the skin. The skin is what forms the energy. The deformation of space is the masses' energy. So, with that in mind, the gravity of a single element, atom, planet, has around it on the skin, this is very, very compressed space. In fact, if I can just draw it, a wiggly line might help. Just go around and that's where space is compressed, because the atom in the middle has pushed it out. However that atom was formed, it's pushed it out. There's no space in the middle, and it's compressed, because it turns out that space, the fabric of the universe, it is something that does not like to be disturbed. I mean, if you think about it, it's the largest entity that we could possibly ever know or find out. It's infinitely long, wide in every direction, up and down, and indeed many dimensions as well. But it's that infinite. If something's infinite, I don't think you can really interfere with it too easily. So to continue explaining this entity, an atom, the edge of it is compressed space. And what space is trying to do is trying to push it back into non-existence. Why? Because the space is infinite. It really doesn't. It doesn't want to be infiltrated. I'd like some better explanations, to be honest. But basically, the mass has pushed space out from that area, so the universe is trying to push it back. And it's that constant force that is the energy of an atom. And it's also gravity. Now what my theory has produced is that gravity does not pull us down. There's nothing in the middle pulling us. It kind of doesn't make sense either, because how would this Earth, if you like, and the Moon, how would they attract each other if the energy was inside? How would it travel through open empty space? In fact, gravity is a pushing force. We are being pushed by the universe back towards its centre. The universe has been infiltrated and deformed by this mass, and therefore it's trying to push us back into, if you like, non-existence. So we're being pushed from all directions, and so is, if you like, our Moon. All directions, all around, pushing in. Now, what would cause one mass to be gravitationally attracted or pushed towards another mass? Well, if you think about it, the whole universe is pushing in from all directions on both of these masses. And if you were to draw a line between their centres, the force pushing the mass from this direction is being obscured by this mass. So this mass is being pushed all directions, especially this one, but this energy doesn't travel all the way through because this is going to deform it. And gravity is a very, very weak force. I believe it's the weakest force of all the four forces of energy. So the Moon and the Earth, all the force pushing from the universe, trying to get rid of this mass. It's infiltrated, it's deformed the universe to exist. If you join 2 points between those masses, this mass is hindering the universe, pushing this mass from this direction, as is this mass hindering the universe, pushing this mass from this direction, which is what causes less push. Let me use a different colour. This mass is being pushed less in this direction, and this mass is being pushed less in this direction because of the opposite mass. And this lesser push is the attractive force we describe as gravity. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's very basic. If anybody would like to talk to me about it and maybe provide some sort of expert equipment or expertise in using a better vocabulary, I'd be really interested in talking to anybody. We'll be putting an email address at the bottom of the short video, and please contact me and we'll have a discussion. Thank you very much. The Real Theory of Everything.